There are times in my life when I have to sit down and really think about how things have been going so far. This includes many events that have occurred in my life. Of course, some were good and others not so much. Like how fun that birthday party was, or how expensive that shirt was, or where I'd like to be in a few years. But then I get certain thoughts like, damn, Kadunks went hard. I'm gonna talk about food today. I already discussed ice cream, fast food toys, and things like video games, so we might as well keep the random topics going. I like this anyways, it adds more variety to the channel. I'm talking about those snacks that just grabbed your attention as a kid. The ones that made your parents' wallets shiver in fear, knowing that you were about to pester them to death if you didn't get your new sugar supply. The kind that made your dentist want to super kick the teeth right out of you with how many cavities you'll get. And even though this video will mostly contain snacks, I will throw a few other things in there as well, such as breakfast food, since I don't really know where else I would put them. But anyways, grab some snacks of your own, or prepare to be hungry if you don't, because some of the stuff I'll be talking about is interesting. With all that said, let's begin. So picture this. It's morning. You've just woken up and you're not looking forward to school, so you shuffle as slowly as you can to the kitchen to eat breakfast. You decide to eat some cereal, but when you go to the pantry, you see a brand new box of what looks to be Cinnamon Toast Crunch. After you eat your first spoonful, you notice something. This doesn't taste normal. This tastes better, and the reason for that is because it wasn't just Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It was Frosted Toast Crunch. Your mood instantly shifts, and you're suddenly feeling more energized, still dreading school, but ready to take on the day. That's exactly how I felt when I tried Frosted Toast Crunch as a kid. Even though it was basically more sugar instead of cinnamon, I thought Frosted Toast Crunch was an upgrade from the original. I'm not saying I hate the original. In fact, on the rare occasion when I do eat breakfast, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is my go-to. Sometimes. I was more of a Golden Grahams guy growing up, but that changed over time. But just from that first spoonful, I literally ascended. It was just something about the frosted, crispy, sugary cereal mixed with the cold milk that just hit different. Now, with a description like that, you'd think I would have repeatedly bought this cereal going forward, right? I wish that was the case. Yeah, unfortunately Frosted Toast Crunch was discontinued very quickly. It was first released in 2012 and I don't think it lasted even a year. I remember asking my parents if they had seen the cereal anytime they went to the store, and they always said they didn't. I was devastated. For like a few minutes. I eventually moved on and started trying other cereals, and that's pretty much where I am now. I still think about Frosted Toast Crunch every once in a while, and even though I'd like to try it again, I don't think it'll ever come back. The pattern of great snacks suddenly disappearing on me continues throughout this video, so I might as well keep going. So, Twizzlers. I'd hope you know what these are by now. Anyways, I was never really a fan of normal Twizzlers. Anytime I went trick-or-treating as a kid, Twizzlers were among the main candies that were always left behind in my bag once all the good stuff was gone. I just never really liked the taste of them. So, sometime in 2015, a company went and said, hey, let's make licorice, edible. And as I walked into my local dollar store one day, I saw these. That's right, soda-flavored licorice. Made in 5 different flavors: Orange Crush, Grape Crush, A&W Root Beer, Hawaiian Punch, and Dr. Pepper. The ones I actually bought were Orange Crush and the Root Beer flavors, but my god, they were something else. They tasted exactly like the sodas. For once, I was actually enjoying licorice. And so, anytime I had some money, granted I was barely a preteen at the time so it wasn't often, I would always make sure to buy at least one bag of those licorice from the dollar store. So unlike Frosted Toast Crunch, I was able to buy these more than once. I would even share them with friends, which was something I almost never did. But once again, it wasn't long before I stopped seeing them on the shelves. Just like Frosted Toast Crunch, the soda licorice disappeared the same year they were released. To this day, I'm still disappointed. I've tried looking for them online, only to find that they're completely out of stock and will likely never come back. However, the soda licorice wasn't the only dollar store snack I enjoyed at the time, because my luck with cookies was just as bad. Around the same year, 2015, I stumbled upon 2 types of cookies that were out of this world. The first one were these caramel shortbread cookies. They were basically those fudge-striped cookies but with caramel instead of fudge. They went pretty hard from what I remember. The second type, however, was unmatched. Lemon sandwich cookies, with a lemon curd on the top. They took your standard lemon Oreo type cookies and made them 1,000 times better. The lemon curd added to the top added a whole new flavor that completely changed the cookies. Now, obviously, this wasn't some big deal looking back, but at the time, this was revolutionary to me. I didn't even know this was possible. Those cookies were truly great. Until they disappeared. I don't remember when either of the cookies went away, but it wasn't long before I stopped seeing them at the dollar store. I think they were gone by the next year. I tried Googling the specific types of cookies, trying to see if they're still being produced by any chance. I found the caramel shortbreads from a brand called Clover Valley, but this is a very different brand than what I remember, though the cookies are practically the same. As for the lemon curd cookies, I couldn't even find a trace of the store-bought versions I remember. All I could find were the standard lemon cookies, and recipes on how to make your own. While helpful, I don't really think I need them at the moment. But those cookies were gone with the wind. It was at this moment that I realized I should stop hyping up snacks. Every time I do, they go away. On to a much more popular snack that might jog your memory. One day, when I was really young, I was sitting down at home watching cartoons and all, then I saw a commercial. Now normally I would just ignore commercials for food or desserts, but it wasn't just any commercial. It was this one.
I crush the director. I crush the tiki. I crush a Danimal's Crush Cup. You crush it and slurp it.
I think this was the first time I ever got excited for a new snack on TV. Danimal's Crush Cups were so simple yet had so much charisma. All you had to do was squeeze the cup to eat the yogurt. It was so simple, but we loved it. 6-year-old me immediately begged my parents to find the Crush Cups at the store, but I guess everyone else had the same idea because we rarely saw them in our grocery stores. We got extremely lucky one day and found one pack that was left. I didn't care if it was dented, I didn't care if it was poisoned. I was gonna get it no matter the condition. And when I finally tasted it, it was alright. Didn't taste any different from the other Danimals products, to be honest. But that wasn't what mattered. The Crush Cup part was the whole selling point of the item. Even then, the Crush Cup barely worked. I still needed a spoon to get out the excess yogurt left behind, but you know what? It didn't matter. The commercial told me they were cool, and to me they were cool. And me being a kid at the time, I never thought of them disappearing from shelves. Gradually they did. I only found out about the Crush Cups being discontinued years after I had forgotten about them. It was one of the few times I wasn't too bothered that something got discontinued. Anyways, let's fast forward to 2016. I know some of you aren't too fond of that year. I was in middle school at the time and I had quickly became a fan of a little thing called Kadunks. Not to be confused with Dunkaroos, though they are very similar. Kadunks was a candy that included gummies and a cup of sour candy gel. You dip the candy in the gel and eat it. Pretty simple. I remember the many commercials that aired on TV for Kadunks, and none of them ever made sense. Unlike everything else I discussed in this video, Kadunks actually managed to last a few years. I couldn't actually find any information regarding when they were discontinued, or even if they were discontinued. Very little is known about this candy. So yeah, not much else to talk about with this one. So up until this point, with the exception of the cookies and the soda licorice I mentioned earlier, none of the candies being discontinued actually bothered me in any way. I was able to accept it and move on. At the end of the day, it's just candy. But the next thing I'm gonna talk about had me actually crashing out over the fact that they were gone. This was an actual blink and you miss it release of a snack that ended almost as soon as it started. This was Crunchkins. Crunchkins. These came out around the same time as the Kadunks did. From the first, and I think only commercial, my interest was piqued. Think of Whoppers, except they're actually good. 3 different flavors, birthday cake, glazed donut, and chocolate brownie, all together in one pack. This sounds like it would be good, right? And it was! I bought a pack one day and actually enjoyed it. So for a few weeks I continued to buy Crunchkins anytime I saw them. The only things I was thinking about during this time were Crunchkins and Kadunks. Things were going good. And then that one day came, where I walked into the usual selection where the Crunchkins would normally be, and there was nothing. The price tag was removed and the box they came in was gone too. And to this day, I'm still looking for answers. Why? What happened? They isekai'd Crunchkins. Why did they do this? I haven't been able to find a concrete answer, so I'm just gonna assume they weren't selling too well. That's my go-to for things like this. I was appalled. I still think about Crunchkins from time to time, reminiscing about their flavors and how good they were. It's already been almost a decade since they were released and discontinued, so it's very unlikely that they will ever come back. One can only wonder how much farther Crunchkins could have gone. In conclusion, you never really know what you had until it's gone. This goes for everything, even food in this case. When something goes away, a brand new thing will come and everyone will move on to that, and the cycle continues. That's exactly how my relationship with snacks has been. There's never a shortage of snacks to discover for the first time. There's always something new around the corner. You just have to enjoy it as much as you can before it's gone. Except no, we need a petition to bring back soda-flavored licorice. They can't ignore this forever. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button for more content. Be sure to also check out my artwork and merch store, linked in the description. I'll see you next time.